Did you know that this month is the 55th anniversary of our building? It was designed by Kahn, one of the world's great architects. Visitors come from all over the world to see our building, which was named by a Pulitzer Prize-winning architectural critic as one of the greatest religious structures of the century. To celebrate, we are sponsoring a conversation with Kahn this coming Friday at 7 p.m. in the Williams Gallery. I'm Dave Schwartz, and I will be interviewing Kahn, who will be portrayed by Lou Ward Baker. Mr. Kahn, why did you design a building that some people say doesn't look like a church?
Well, David, I would never consider basing my design on someone else's idea of what a church should look like. Fortunately, the church's building committee made it clear that they didn't want that either. I worked with them to understand what the congregation wanted, and I combined that with my own thinking about the nature of Unitarianism. And the result? A completely original building, one that is appropriate for this congregation. You know, great architecture nudges you in a certain direction. If it works as it's intended, it produces an emotional, even a spiritual effect. Now take the architecture of the sanctuary, for example. Unlike traditional church sanctuaries, that room is not designed to channel people into a frame of mind based on one particular religious doctrine. Instead, and I think you'll agree with me on this, if you think about it, that room creates an atmosphere of open-ended possibilities, which is entirely appropriate for this congregation. And in addition, it's an unusually flexible space with movable chairs and a movable pulpit. That makes it suitable not only for a variety of church functions, but also for community activities, which is unusual for a church sanctuary. You know, David, everyone notices the concrete blocks. I hope people will also see the broader picture. This building is based on simple, plain materials, presented honestly. If you look around, you'll see natural surfaces. Nothing here is hidden by paint. You don't need to cover up what you are just to please people. You could probably base a sermon on that theme, couldn't you? Well, I'll be talking more about architectural issues on this coming Friday evening with you.
You will also hear Kahn talk about the financial difficulties his family faced during his childhood, his interest in art and music, his rough start as an architect during the Great Depression, at a time when almost nothing was being built, and his progressive politics and more. Join us this coming Friday at 7 p.m. in the Williams Gallery for a fascinating conversation with Kahn.